This clip is sponsored by Med Travelers. If you're an SLP interested in travel therapy, visit medtravelers.com to get started. It kind of starts with, I remember as you were saying this, I'm thinking, yes, I remember actually working with a kid thinking about my grocery list. And I'm like going through the motions, doing the work, but I wasn't there. I was elsewhere, kind of just, like you said, robotic. And so I think that was when I was thinking, oh, this is weird. This isn't like me. But I'm curious also, because you did mention also that it kind of mimics some of those depression type symptoms. And so do you feel like being able to differentiate if it is burnout, does it, like on the weekends, do people become themselves again, or do you feel like it bleeds into everything and then it's hard to differentiate?
Yeah, I think it really it goes into your whole life. Like that's why I always talk about like the work-life balance. Like I wish people would stop saying that. That's not, because you have a life and just work is like a part of it. You're not supposed to like balance those two out, right? Like, but that's a common like mental construct that we have in our culture that leads to burnout, right? You're not supposed to balance your work with your life. Like it's a part of your life. And, I went off on a tangent there, but I think that construct really, it causes us to like try to like separate the two of like your work and your life, and you can't really do that, right? Work is a part of your life, but by definition, burnout is basically stress and anxiety and depression too, caused by chronic work-related stress. But it goes into everything. It impacts everything. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people you're either like spending your whole weekends working, or you have to spend your whole weekend in your pajamas. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I do that all the time. But if you feel like you can't do anything else.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And I would love elaborate a little bit more on that concept of not, because I do think that along with burnout, I'm hearing that everywhere, work-life balance. And in my head, I always think about it as, you've got to make sure you're putting as much time and energy into your life as you are to work. But tell me a little bit more about what your thoughts are on why it doesn't make sense to you, that work-life balance. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, because I think, what if you made your work a part of your life as something you genuinely love? Like, what if you thought of it like that? And I think like if you're in burnout, like that might be like a huge stretch. So like, don't feel like you have to think of it like that. But
today I love this.
Right? Like
yesterday I could not get out of bed.
It's okay. Like we're human. We're not going to love every second, right?
Yeah.
That's normal. We're going to have parts of our job that we don't like. We're going to have parts of our job and our life that we dread sometimes. Report writing, but just saying.
For example.
Okay. You'll see that I have ADHD. Bring me back to the question.
Well, I'm here for you. So just elaborating on, and you did a nice job of that. I was just not thinking about it like, life is one bucket, work is another bucket, but looking at it as a blended where I don't dread work so much that I have to put it in its own bucket. It's
right. Yes. Yeah. Because even that concept it's almost like, right. You have to put it in this bucket so that you can contain it there. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about boundaries. But I just like to, we spend a significant amount of our time being at work, so what if that is part of your life? And what if you could make it a part of your life that feels generative and enjoyable?